so scared. And then now we are developing vaccines. And we are actually developing vaccines in India as well. Of course, we are struggling, we will develop, we are getting more and more mutants, but it will happen. We didn't have vaccines against most of the diseases like smallpox, जिसे बड़ी माता कहते थे. That disease is eradicated, not existent in this world now. And we have those fancy masks, N95, and we have the PPE where we are donning the gloves, that is personal prophylaxis equipment. And hey folks, hasn't wearing a mask become a fashion statement? It has. Those matching masks like a matching necktie or a cravat or a bow tie or a scarf, and it also protects against air pollution. So the novelty factor of this virus with regards mass production of the medicines and indigenous preparation of medicines in India under the Atmanirbhar program is not that bad. I agree, Rakesh Chikaraji, that one should not be that stressed and it's just like a normal flu. I quite agree with you. And now we have more research material. We have material of demography across the different countries, and we do have observational data. So what was unknown devil is being studied and will soon become a known devil. And the temperature and environment that we keep talking about. So this virus doesn't really survive that much in hot temperature and high humidity, and we are blessed to be that country. This virus can actually survive in the fridge for 72 hours, but if we eat hot cooked food at 70 degree, then this virus actually can die because it is sensitive to heat. So don't eat raw food or undercooked food. So you may be saying that if the weather is really hot weather is something which actually kills this virus, then why is it that this virus is spreading so much in India now? We have to understand, we may be having low immunity, we are more clustered, and new mutants may be developing. So there may be a confounding factor, but we have learned so many lessons from the world, and believe me, our government has had a 3-month lead time of understanding over what had really happened in Wuhan. So the disaster management, COVID hospitals, quarantine, ventilators, lockdown 1 to lockdown 5 now has given much relaxations, and there has been an impressive stimulus of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the economic package, 21 lakh crore rupees given as COVID relief package, Arogya Setu app for contact tracing, COVID count tracker, COVID helpline, delineation of zones as red, orange, green, and containment zones, hotspots. And now we have all woken up as a community which has screening monitors. We have the thermal monitors to without touch get the temperature. We have pulse oximeter where on a finger we can figure out our oxygen saturation, and if our oxygen saturation has come down, we could be susceptible and we need to really check out on the COVID helpline. Because you know what happens, we may be having a normal cough and cold and a little fever, and we may think we need to go or not go, and the doctor may say, okay, you don't need a test. But if you have an oximeter and the oxygen level comes down, you know that you need to rush and show to somebody, or maybe you've actually had a test and that test is showing that you are negative for the test. But you know, there's a problem with this test. The problem is that 10 to 30% of the people who actually have the disease, they'll end up being negative on the test when they're actually suffering. So if that's you and me, what will happen to us? So if you look at it, there could be pneumonia which is actually set in, and you and I don't know, and I had sore throat and I had fever and I had cough, and then one fine day I have shortness of breath, my test was negative, or I was never advised to get a test done, and then finally I am having shortness of breath. So by that time I have severe aggressive pneumonia and I probably land up on the ventilator, and I have missed out on those lead times. So 4 to 5 days before actually shortness of breath happens, I may have developed pneumonia, and if I were actually making a note of my oxygen saturation level, it would have been lovely. Thank you so much, Divya Chaudhary ji, for saying that the speech ongoing is making you get relaxed, and Tarun Rawat ji for bringing in a comment that you are making peace with yourself after listening to my speech. So let's go on. And now, Arogya Karmi and a health force. I'm proud to be part of that health force. Seva Karmi, the people who are really working on the ground, including NGOs. Suraksha Karmi, that is the police and the security personnel. I mean, they're all working hard. So with all this information, which is an informative part of the session, now armed with all this knowledge, I ask you, can the tables be turned? And for those who are thinking, what can I really do? You're only expected to do 5 things. 1, social distancing, keep a 1 meter distance. 2nd, hand hygiene, just wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water, and with preferably lukewarm water, or use an alcohol scrub. 3rd, respiratory hygiene, just don't cough onto people. Keep your hand, keep a handkerchief. If you have nothing, just use the edge of your elbow. And don't go in clustered people, keep away from people. Don't go in gatherings, avoid contact with risky people, and wear a mask. So, what's not there? The question is, what is not there with us? It's a virus. We frankly speaking don't know what is the treatment. Now we have a new notion that it is actually a bacteria. But we will evolve. Things are responding. Our hydroxychloroquine is responding. US did ask for a big package of export to their country. So what can you and I do? Self-discipline, regimentalization is what we can follow. And of course, we must know the symptoms. So for all of those who are not convinced yet with all this information, let's look at the 3 modalities which can be used to help. Self-help tips to relieve your anxiety, music therapy as a stress buster, and mindfulness. So first we need to know what is stress really and what are the signs and symptoms of stress. So if you cannot concentrate, there is lack of attention, you're feeling less energetic, you're irritated, you're moody, you're frustrated, you're crying, you're blaming people, you can't take decisions. You're neglecting yourself, you're neglecting others. And you're getting cranky, you're worrying excessively, you're unable to remember things, and you actually may land up having symptoms in your body. You could be having a headache, you could be having migraine, you could be having body aches, any of this. In case any of this is there with you, my friend, then you are in stress. So let's manage stress. Remember, you cannot remove the stress, but you can manage the stress. You must be wondering, well, then what is she talking? I came here for stress management. Remember, I cannot remove your stress. You need to manage your stress because stresses will keep coming to you. And now, the thing is that how will you manage your own stress yourself? So all this information that I gave you as an insight as a medical doctor is going to be helpful. First, understand your emotion, and for that you need to understand the disease. What causes it, what are the risks, what are the precautions, what is the percentage of chance that I could be affected. And in case you're doing that, please don't dwell into only hunting, searching, reading about the disease. Only compartmentalize a part of your time which is needed, otherwise you will become more and more stressed. And then we need to do lifestyle management. Our entire lifestyle has got topsy-turvy. Today we are doing a webinar and we were hardly doing that. We were actually going physically, and I would have been delivering a lecture physically along with your esteemed faculty, Professor Rachita Rana. But here, times have changed. We need to exercise because that's a stress buster, and it energizes, brings in good hormones and things like that. Equally, we need to also sleep well, eat a balanced diet, preferably home cooked food, and not overindulge in sweets. Relax, entertain yourself. and avoid alcohol and smoking. Don't drink down your anxiety and don't smoke away your fears. That's very important. And maintain a diary which is a stress diary. In that you should note down what is causing you stress, what is your emotion, what is your thought, what is your body reaction to it, what triggers it. When a situation happens, how do you react? And if you were to change this reaction the next time, how do you respond? And does it make you feel physically better? You need to analyze this yourself. You need to handle your thoughts. What are your thoughts? Thoughts are not positive or negative. Thoughts are helpful, unhelpful, or neutral. And it is the thought which is giving you the stress, the thought that the disease is going to attack you. Has the disease attacked you? No. So remember, however logical your thoughts may be, however plausible your thoughts may be, but they are not real situations and they are not facts. So ask yourself, is my thought right? Am I 100% correct in this thought process? What is the true information? And if this is 100%, then can it not change? For example, corona today does not have a definitive cure or a vaccine. Is this going to be 100% true later? Maybe not. I agree, Eamon Gul, you have mentioned that maintaining a journal is also therapeutic. I would rather call it and give it a lighter word, that is maintaining a diary, rather than a journal. I know we are from the academic world and we enjoy the whole idea of a journal. So avoid thought twists. Don't imagine the worst, as in this disease is going to happen to me and I am going to die. Don't use very heavy words, words of deliberation, must, should. Government has said, keep precautions. I am also keeping precautions. You should also keep precautions. You must do this. Don't use the word should and must. Just do what you need to do. So, you need to handle negative thoughts. And what are the negative thoughts? Change and replace that negative thought with a positive thought. Let me give you an example. I am going to die with this disease. Change it. I will take all precautions to prevent this disease. Government is not doing enough, still so many cases are happening. Change it. Government is doing its best in unprecedented circumstances and is handling it reasonably well. I am stuck at home, I can't go out, my lifestyle has changed. Change it. How lovely I am with my family, I am getting me time, I am enjoying myself. Do positive things which you haven't done. सकारात्मक चीज़ें करिए. वो चीज़ें करिए which will rediscover you, which will provide insightfulness to you. So this is all about the self-help tips. Now we must talk about the digital stress, right? Digital stress also has its own signs. For example, every now and then you feel, oh, my phone is ringing, the vibration bell is ringing. Am I missing out on some information? That's called anxiety. Where is my phone? Where did I keep it? There's no mobile around me. That's the fear of not being around the mobile. That is nomophobia, no mobile phobia. Then there is this thing called phantom ringing. You know, phantom means it's not there, but you imagine that it's ringing all the while. Fear of missing out. Am I missing out on something? Am I going to lag behind? Info pandemic, so much information is coming to us on the very device which was actually meant to just talk on the phone, at best communicate through a message. Things like WhatsApp has become a portal for an information epidemic or an information pandemic in the times of a corona pandemic. So much information to absorb. So what is happening is that you could actually be hearing a ringtone and it causes you palpitations. All the time there is a notification and it causes you a disturbance in your concentration. You may be sleeping and there could be notifications which keep coming. How many notifications you may put off. You could actually be looking at self-appeasement, about keeping yourself busy because you're not going to work and you're all the time on the phone and you're thinking, I'm busy all the time. So you're actually indulging in phone mode with a sense of feeling that I am keeping myself busy. So, this is what is happening. So, what happens? There is lack of concentration, there is anxiety, and body symptoms start also developing, like perspiration. You know, there is something like a Pavlov reflex. When you hear a bell,